Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Jolly Holiday with Mary. If you're new, I'm Mary, and if you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back. If you are new, this might be a weird video to start on. I've been off of YouTube for what feels like at least a year. I've uploaded some random things like my September Disneyland trip, and then my November Disney World trip. But other than that, I feel like it's been pretty quiet, and it just didn't seem right to continue like posting my usual content without like coming and talking to you guys. So this is just a very raw, like sit down and talk about what the last year and a half, 2 years has looked like. So it's not gonna be like an all 100% happy video because I have unhappy events that have taken place in the last 24 months or so. But I also have some exciting things. Like, you might be asking, where the heck are you right now? Because this doesn't look like my house. And I'll get to that in a minute. So I just wanted to update you guys. So like a little tiny bit of backstory. You guys know how I ramble. I'm gonna try really hard not to though. 2019, my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer. She did chemo and all the things, had a double mastectomy. But she's very private, and so I didn't post stuff about it while it was happening. And then she was like cancer-free, good to go. And then 2022, in like October, November, she had I think she had an MRI or an X-ray for a completely different thing, but that scan, luckily, I think, showed in her lung a mass that they weren't sure what it was. So that led to some investigations and biopsies and stuff, and come to find out it was her breast cancer came back, and it was in one of her lungs. So I think after a while they did another MRI. This was all around like Thanksgiving and Christmas, and she didn't tell us about it until like the beginning of 2023, which made me kind of sad because she was telling us how like stressed out she was and stuff about, you know, she was just sure that she was gonna die right then. But she told us in January 2023, I had an inkling that something was coming just because of some things that she had said around Christmas time and stuff. But I hoped that I was just being paranoid. I wasn't though. So it came back in 2023. She started doing some treatments again. She had a very, very rare type of breast cancer. Rare and very difficult to treat and aggressive. So that's a great combination. Rare, so doctors don't know 100% how to deal with it. So it's hard to treat, and it's aggressive. So if you don't know how to treat it, it's probably just gonna, you know, snowball. So she got frequent scans and things. Immunotherapy was working really well, except that it started to shut down some of her functioning organs. So she stopped doing that and then tried, I think she tried something else, or maybe she didn't. Everything is like a blur at this point. Oh no, she did try something else too. Something else that made her hair fall out. Her immunotherapy didn't do that, which was something that we really liked. And, but it just caused so many problems for her on top of, you know, having cancer. So she stopped immunotherapy, I think in like May, June, and then started another treatment that was sort of a chemotherapy, and it this type of cancer that she had. It's called metaplastic, and it went metastatic, which means it went from being in the normal breast tissue to being in different organs. So it went into her lung first, and then after a while we saw one in her kidney, and then she also developed some in her thyroid, which is very rare also. Just this type of cancer just does whatever it wants. So in any case, she tried something after the immunotherapy, and it made her feel really terrible. So I think it was like January of 2024, so this January, she decided to stop doing that too and just let whatever happens happen. So we continued doing scans and things. She had lots of complications like UTIs, gastrointestinal discomfort, and then the thing in her thyroid was getting bigger, which obviously this is like a sensitive area, so it was making it hard for her to swallow things. Like, it was just uncomfortable, and so she actually had that removed, like, surgically, and then it came right back almost more aggressively. Like, it grew really fast then. So in any case, she went on, man, I was doing so well. She went on to hospice care in May, like the end of May. And she had an appointment with her palliative care doctor, who we really liked. My mom, like, she was just so ready to be done. So ready to be done. And I don't blame her at all. Like, my sister and my aunt and we all were like, you have to do what's best for you. So if you want to stop treatment, then we're 100% behind you. We just want you to be, as comfortable as you can be and happy, and, for as long as we get to have you, that's how we want you to be. Happy with your choices and, all of that. So, but I just remember, like, that towards the end of May, she had an appointment with her palliative care doctor, who was just the greatest. Like, she was fantastic. She's actually she switched back to doing oncology. And we would highly recommend her if you're in Indianapolis area or anywhere and you just want to know about a really awesome doctor. I would love to give you her information. But she had an appointment with her just to talk about things, and she hadn't asked before that I know of, like, timeline. But I think she was really hoping for some, like, good news in her case, as, like, it's not gonna be very long. And the doctor told her, it could be anything, like weeks, months, whatever. It's just, we don't know how your cancer really works. We just know that it's aggressive and it's basically untreatable. So, but she was like, I would guess about 3 weeks. And that, I think, was like May 24th or something like that. It was a Friday. And my mom texted me and my sister, and she was like, I had a great appointment with whatever this doctor's name is. I'll have to look it up because I can't remember. But we were thinking, oh, good, like, some good news for us. And then I couldn't wait. My sister, I think, was working. I was working too, but I can take phone calls and stuff. And so I called my mom because I was like, what's the great news? And she was like, she said it'll probably only be about 3 weeks, as if this is like good news, which for her it was. So, I was happy for her, but it was like a gut punch for me. So luckily my employer, I have just like the greatest supervisor, Heather, who knew all of this was going on. I had been, you know, taking off for appointments and things. I went to a lot of appointments. We all went to a lot of appointments with my mom. But I told Heather, and I was like, 3 weeks. Okay. Like there's no way. There's no way that's correct. 3 weeks? 3 weeks? Like, that's crazy. So, anyway, yeah. She was super excited because it was only going to be 3 more weeks for her. She was just ready to be done. She was so ready to be done. So she went on a hospice care and got everything in order for us. And I spent as much, I think I went to her house almost every day for 3 weeks, just in case 3 weeks was like a legitimate estimate. And it was. So she was like, she's just like the coolest person. She was entertaining like all the hospice nurses who had to come. There were two different hospice nurses who were coming, and they both had the same name, and I can't remember it now. I swear my brain just like stopped working. It was like Kyle or something like that, but it wasn't that. Anyway, these two great nurses were coming, and I got to meet them and stuff. They would come in and like take her vitals and stuff and just see how she was doing on like morphine and stuff like that. And she just had them cracking up. Like, she was just so okay with everything. It's crazy. She would just always say it is what it is. And it was, you know, I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. So anyway, yeah, so it was awesome to like just see her character and her spirit staying strong until the end. And then, you know, after about a week and a half, she was really not feeling good. Like, the tumor in her neck was like the thing. And I think about it a lot. You know, there's a lot of like if onlys. Like, if only she hadn't gotten, like, if the cancer hadn't spread to her thyroid, if only, she would probably still be here. But it did. So it is what it is. So yeah, she went downhill pretty quickly, and we started giving her more and more morphine to keep her comfortable. And June 13th, she passed away in the morning. Like, I knew it was gonna suck. That's like the biggest understatement ever. Like, ever since I was a little girl, I worried about two things. I worried about my cat Domino passing away, and I worried about my mom passing away. And it's so much worse than I thought. So much worse. But yeah, I'm happy for her. I'm happy that she isn't in pain anymore. It doesn't have to deal with all of that stuff. And I just wanted to update you guys. So the fun update is that we bought a house. It, like, July 4th. I was just looking because you guys know I wanted to have a Airbnb. Sounds like there's somebody walking out back. You know, I wanted to have an Airbnb, and let me go blow my nose. hold on. Okay. I think I'm just hearing things. This would be an awkward time for someone to show up. But my neighbors are really nice. Okay, so we bought a house. July 4th, I was looking for houses that I could buy to make into an Airbnb, because I would just really like to do that. I think it would be super fun. I think it would be super fun to be an Airbnb host, but I found a house like out in Pendleton, Indiana, which was like 20 minutes from our current house. I went and looked at it, and it was like so cool, like 50s. The whole outside of the house was like pink limestone. Pink, my favorite color. So I went and saw it because all the realtors were like busy and stuff, but the realtor of the house, like the seller's realtor, I reached out to her and just to see the house, and she showed me around, and she was like, I just have to tell you, they got an offer last night and the offer expires at noon today. And this was like 10 o'clock in the morning, so like 2 hours. So my husband was asleep. It was like a Sunday, I think I went and saw it. Maybe it was actually 4th of July. I can't remember. In any case, I went and saw it, fell in love. It was just so cool. Like, it had everything that I wanted. Big windows, big living room with a big, beautiful fireplace, a sunroom. Did I say that already? I swear. And it was just so cool. But in the backyard was a whole giant area filled with grapes growing, which are toxic to dogs. And I was like, is this a sign that we're not supposed to have this house? Also, the realtor told me that the people that put the offer in were really excited about the house. Like, they had been looking and looking, and they were closing on the sale of their current house in like a week. And so they put a bunch of stipulations on their offer so that it would hurry the process up so they could start moving in, because they were about to sell their house. So it just seemed like everything was pointing to this was supposed to be those people's house. You know, I just felt like if I could somehow convince Nick to put an offer in without, like, with an hour's notice, there's just no way. But it just, yeah, it didn't seem right. So in any case, I kept looking, and then I started looking in areas that I would never have thought to live in for multiple reasons. And I found this house, and the pictures were pretty terrible. It was very dark, but it had these great windows, and I was like, I'm just gonna go see it. I also texted that realtor because it didn't say if it would accept FHA loans, which is what we were approved for. And so I texted her, and she was like, no, I don't think so. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I think it was that same weekend. Yeah, it was still July 4th. I texted her, and she was like, I don't think FHA would approve it. There's all these special approvals and things. And I was like, man, that really stinks, because it's like in our budget. I could make it work. And I've always wanted like a mid-century modern ranch, like really mid-century looking. So I was like, man, that sucks. But you know, if they won't accept FHA, they won't accept FHA. So a couple weeks go by, maybe it was just a few days. I don't even know what is time anymore. Anyway, time went by, some time, and I reached out to her again, and I was like, what do you think would need to be done? And she just thought it was like repainting like the trim, because it was kind of chipping, and that's like a thing. And I was like, so if I was willing to like paint it myself or something, like I just can't get over this house. And she was like, let's go to the house. I'll meet you at the house. You can see it, and I'll show you what I'm thinking FHA would probably have an issue with. And so I did. I came and looked at the house and fell madly in love with it. Like, it is a million times cooler than the pictures online. And it's huge, like huge. Why do I need a huge house? I don't have kids. I just have dogs. It's just me and my husband and our dogs. But anyway, so I told Nick about it. And he was really over the whole house hunting thing because I was obsessed. I just felt in my bones that I had to keep looking. And he was like, you were driving me crazy with this house hunting thing. So, but I was like, please, can I just please show you this house? It's incredible. Can I just show you? And if you hate it, then you hate it, and that's it. And so he agreed to see the house, and I told him the address, and he was like, there's no point in us seeing this house. Like, I don't want to live there. And I was like, I know I said that too, but can I just show you the house? And so I did. And to my, like, complete surprise, he loved the house. He was like, it's a really cool house. And I was like, what? So then became the discussion time. Like, we were discussing Airbnb our current house because it's already decorated. We've put tons of money into it, you know, new roof, fence, siding, all these things. And I was like, we could just Airbnb our current house, move into this other house, and then I'd have more projects to do, which is what you see behind me. Anyway, long story short, with that, we bought a new house. So there's gonna be some videos. I wanna show you the couch that my mom bought us back in April. Maybe it was President's Day, so that would have been February. And then it arrived in like April, I think, because there was a delay for like manufacturing and stuff. So I have a video coming about our new couch, but it just didn't seem right to post that as if everything was normal, and it's not. This is our new normal, and we're just getting along. We're getting along with it. But yeah, so that's what's been going on. So I'm trying to get this house in order enough that we can move in, and then we're gonna put our other house on the market, and that's where we are. So I'm hoping this video wasn't too long. Yeah, but I wanted to post it before I started posting other things, and I'm hoping to post it on the 14th, which is tomorrow, which would be my mom's birthday. She would be 66, I believe, which is just so young. I feel like my sister and I are too young to be dealing with not having our mom. My niece is too young to be without her grandmother. Like, Morrison is so close with my mom. It's just, there's so many things, but that is life, I guess. So anyway, that's it. I just wanted to update you guys because I don't want to have a channel that's just happy-go-lucky all the time, because that's not life, and you guys deserve more. So anyway, that's it. Thanks for listening. I'm excited to be posting more videos. Obviously, I have tons of house content that can be coming soon, and yeah, so that's it. I love you guys. I miss this, so I'm excited to start doing videos again, and I will see you in the next one. Don't stay away too long.